fake smiles today because I'm so upset about everything that's going on in the world. Anyway, let's start off on a good note. Let's see, what do we have? Oh, you won't believe this. So Roy ordered, we're ordering everything online. Roy ordered, have you ever had prime roast? I hate it.
No.
I don't eat any of that stuff.
You don't
I don't
eat
eat the
meat
period.
anyway, hardly.
So he orders his prime roast. It's this big. It's like 4 pounds. I have to call my mother, call my sister, look in the cookbook, Google it up, figure it out. Anyway, I cooked the whole thing. By the way, I use this salt on it. This is the only thing I use this season. I wanted to tell everybody I didn't realize how good the seasoning was, but when they started telling me, like, oh my God, the best seasoning. But anyway, I use it on everything. But I mean, when other people start telling you it's really good, and I wanted to give you these, James, because I think they're really cute. Look, you can just carry them around with you.
Like little carry-alls.
Yeah. But anyway, so it has a rope on it. It's all roped to weave together. So I didn't know you're supposed to take it off. So I asked my mom, you're supposed to take it off? She said, no, you wait till you cook it or it'll fall apart. The roast will fall apart.
Yeah.
The prime rib or whatever in the hell it was, 4 pounds. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. How does the meat fall apart? Anyway, I cook it. I put the thermometer in, whatever. I take that stuff off and I start cutting it. Oh my God, I thought I was gonna vomit. Have you ever seen what these things look like? They're just gristle and fat and bloody red meat. I made myself sick. Anyway, Roy Jr. and Roy ate it. Oh, it's like, I can't believe they eat like this. It just made me ill. Anyway, that was so much stress trying to cook that. I don't know how these people cook all this stuff. It's not that, it's complicated. You have to pay attention. I don't like to do it anyway. Everybody in my family's a great cook. I used to think I was a good cook until I started cooking all the time. Well, since I've been in quarantine and I realized not so much. And then I did this Zoom the other day. Remember Flo Rida that performed, Jason, at the charity? Yes. So he invited me on this Zoom call. And because I'm trying to mastermind how to get these ex-felons that have the right to vote now to vote. So his group, that's what they do. And they have 200 people out on the streets, and they have knocking doors or whatever. They have 40 people in a phone bank. I mean, they've been working this for a year. And they raised $7 million, and Bloomberg said, if you raise 10, I'll match it. Well, I noticed that he finally gave them the money anyway. He raised $16 million. Scott and Susan told me they were working on the Bloomberg camp to get them to try to pay the fines. So we're working on that. That's one thing. But everybody on that call, they're so committed to getting these ex-felons their rights back and getting them to work. And I mean, remember, Jason, we raised money for 25 years to keep these kids from going to jail. Because when they do go to jail, what happens? They get out. Remember the time I met that guy down at the UPS and picked him up? So I meet this 19-year-old guy in coveralls. He's stumbling around UPS. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, well, I don't know what to do. I don't have any money. I don't have anywhere to go. And he had been in the grocery store, and he said he was going to go to the grocery store and steal a loaf of bread so he could eat. Well, of course, I put him in my car. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. I put him in my car. I took him to the grocery store. I wanted to buy groceries. I bought him something to eat. And then he said, can I get a beer? And then I was like, no, I'm not getting you a beer. And then he was like, well, I'm not going to get out of the car until you get me a beer. Well, then I went and got him a beer. But I opened it up, and I poured half of it out in the can before I gave it to him. And then I said, now you're going to have to be willing to get out of my car. He said, okay, I will. So then I called up Bay Point School, remember? And I got them to come over and meet me somewhere on the side of the road with him, put him in the car with them, and they took him off to the Bay Point School. But what had happened, he had been in jail.
Right.
When they released him, they gave him a little identification card and like nothing, like $10. And he had a phone number. I said, who can I contact? He had one phone number of someone he hadn't talked to in 3 years since he went to jail. I started trying to track down that person. It just went on and on. Well, anyway, so my point is, when they get out of jail, they have nothing. And they have no resources. A lot of them, their families have disowned them. A lot of them don't have families. A lot of them have lost their contact information. So if someone doesn't get them and integrate them back into society, they're just going to go out on the streets and be real criminals, not, juvenile criminals. They're going to commit real crimes. So I've always been committed to that, and Jason and I have always worked on it. We raised money for it. We've done everything we could. We supported that Bay Point School forever. But I just thought, when the vote thing started, I thought, well, this is one place where there's 1.2 million ex-felons that should vote. Because if they vote, they start to feel like they're a part of society again. And then you try to get intervention programs to get them back into the the community. But anyway, so that was kind of working on that a little bit.
I saw that the number of actual people that he was going to be paying off, though, is only like 30,000, a little more than 30,000.
But it's not that. It's not that simple. What happens is, I found out from the state attorney's office, 500,000 of them haven't even filled out their last paperwork to get the right to vote. So we've got to get those 500 to go fill out their paperwork, and then get the others to register to vote, and then get a commitment from them that they're going to vote, and then pay off their fines. So it's a process.
It's not easy.
And
we ran out of time because of the voters registration date.
The voters registration's up October 4th or 5th. So it all has to be finished, the rest of it. But, at least there are people trying to help these people.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if it's 30,000 votes, that can swing this state one way or the other. If we'd had 30,000 more votes, we'd have a Democratic governor right now.
Well, they're going to steal Florida. So
Yeah,
I'm going to vote. Everybody should vote. The only way we're going to win Florida is if we win by landslide, because you got two alleged crooked senators and an alleged crooked incompetent. This guy is one of the dumbest people. DeSantis is just dumb. I'm sorry, he is just dumb. I mean, I guess he's Ivy League educated. It just goes to show you that a little information or an education means nothing if you don't have any common sense and you don't have a heart. Anyway, then not to dismiss this, but Kanye spent $3 million to get on 15 state ballots.
And it's to help Trump.
To help Trump. I mean, if you have $3 million, first of all, I would never buy anything from you ever again if I ever did buy anything from you, which I haven't. Because if you're going to take that money to help sabotage an election, why don't you give that $3 million to people that don't have jobs right now, or don't have any money right now, or can't, they're in quarantine, or they have medical bills. If you've got $3 million to burn, do something good with it. Why use it to get on a fake ballot that you're never going to ever win? I people the mentality.
He's having a mental breakdown anyway. So.
Well, you know what? I've lost sympathy for him.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for him either.
I have lost sympathy. If you won't take your medicine, and if you won't listen to anybody, and if you think you know everything about everything, and I lost respect for him when he grabbed that microphone out of Taylor Swift's first award.
Yeah, he spent all week this week fighting with his record label and said he was going to get Taylor the original tracks back so he can redeem himself. Yeah, from Scooter.
Well, the chances of that happening are probably slim to none. But you know what? If he has $3 million to burn, why don't you do that and make it up to her for what you took her moment from her?
Yep.
I mean, there's so many stupid people. I'm getting so upset with the amount of stupid people there are in the world. I was telling somebody on the car on the way over here, I guess we're just all so smart, because I think the dumber people are happy. I do. I think the dumber people are happier. They don't care. They don't know. They walk into a wall. Trump's great. Life is good. Planet's burning. Who cares? Smoke a joint. I mean, I really sometimes just wish I was a dumb hippie. I would be a lot happier. So I talked to Jeff on the phone the other day. He goes, I'm getting notes from my audience. They miss you. So I'm trying to go out there sometime in the middle or end of October if the fires go away.
Yeah.
But you guys should also go and tag Jeff and say, we miss Lea.
They have been on social media.
They have been, because when I go out there, I better be on there all the damn time if I'm going to make the trip out there. And he was giving me the whole update, his whole life story, and everything that's going on with the daughter and the boyfriend. Of course, you hear it all if you listen to his radio show, and if you don't, you should. It's on Sirius at 9 a.m. Is it on 9 a.m.? Yeah, he's at 9 there.
There, 12 here in Eastern.
Yeah, so that's about the time I wake up.
Yeah, he's on right now.
He's on right. Is he competing?
He competes with you at 12.
Oh my God!
Or no, yeah. Well, no, we're at 3. So
we're
yeah,
at
we're at 3 now.
At 3.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right.
Good. You cannot compete with me, buddy.
Hey, we had a question. There's someone. Her name is Katie. She says, "Hey, Lea, I'm currently watching Real Housewives of Miami right now, and whatever happened to Norman? He's the cutest little fella."
Oh yeah, I still talk to Norman every once in a while. Every time I think someone's acting really, really bad and crazy, I call him up and say, "Is there an entity on this person?" And he'll tell me yes or no, and if there is, he'll get it off. So he's in the Palisades. He's doing well. He's actually very insightful. If you remember, a lot of things he tells me just happen. I mean, I don't rely on it, but I find it interesting. Mm-hmm. Now, there's going to be a blue moon on Halloween. I hope I'm in LA so I can get my telescope and look at it.
And the next day is the day that the asteroid is supposed to come by, or within the next 24 or 48 hours after Halloween. Because that's
Really?
right before the election. It's the day before the election.
Yeah.
There's an asteroid coming towards Earth.
Well, if there's anybody I'm not wishing any bad on anybody, but if it is going to zap anybody, I hope it's some of those red votes. So in Florida, we have 3,573 cases a day one day last week. Oh my God. So we've had 62 deaths one day last week, and all total, we've had 13,287 total deaths. And we've got a doofus governor.
Yeah, they opened strip clubs yesterday.
Oh, look, I almost hit my monk fruit. So this is the other thing I brought for James and Jason to try. I brought them both one because this is the only thing I use as a sweetener now. I'm not getting paid for these ads, by the way. I'm just rattling because I like them. But I have not used anything but this for anything, for a croissant, for a coffee, for a tea, for nothing. I've used nothing but this monk fruit from the first time I got it. No chemicals, no calories, no carbohydrates, no nothing, just pure solid monk fruit. This lasts me like 6 months, like this one thing.
Yeah.
But if it
It's
takes
good for
4
like
drops.
sweetening and things, right?
So we were at the radio station one day. I give it to Frankie Grande. Oh, Frankie, you've got to try this. He takes off the whole lid.
And drinks it.
No, look, he took off this lid, okay? Instead of taking this off and putting a few drops, he squeezed it and took the whole thing off and poured it like if it was honey
Like a glass.
into his damn coffee and used half of it. I was like, that was 6 months of supply for me. But it's so good. It takes such a little amount. Anyway, I just loved it. It's monk fruit, isn't it? How do you get to that, by the way? It's monkfruit.com or something. I can't
I don't have the
remember.
printout in front of me.
Anyway, it's, oh my God, distributed by, oh my God, we'll have to find, monk fruit. Anyway, it's MONKFRUIT. Oh my God, I can't believe I don't know that. Well, anyway, it's really good. You got to get this one though. It's the LLINEA one. 0 calorie natural sweetener. I love it.
Here.
Anyway, I can't read it. I need to get my loop for my jewelry to read this.
Here, actually, the gentleman had sent us
You're going to read
some
it?
information on it.
Yeah, because I reached out to them. This is my favorite thing in the whole world.
It's Ileana monk fruit, and it's the most delicious 0 calorie all natural sweetener on the market. And
What's the link?
and let's see, it's monkfruit.us. So it's www.monkfruit.us. And if you use the discount code
Oh, there's a discount code.
Lea Black, no space.
He gave us a discount code? Oh my God, I sent him an email. I go, this is a hole in the earth, the sliced bread, and now I'm getting a discount code?
So if they use Lea Black as their discount code at monkfruit.us, you will get $1.50 off your bottle.
I'm a celebrity endorser. I'm not getting anything. Just
You're
so
not
you
getting
know.
down on
I
it,
don't
I
want
know.
anything because
Right.
I just consider it a privilege someone came up with it. Because let me tell you, all those sweeteners were chemicals. I started reading on there. They all have 20 words you don't know on them. All those
Yeah.
diet ones, and they're not good for you. Anyway, moving along. What else have I done personally? So the other night, I was so depressed over Ruth Ginsburg. I can't even talk about it. And you know, Julian Brandon gave me a Ruth Ginsburg pillow, sequin pillow, and I have her little thing that I use as a Christmas ornament, her little, I don't know what you call it, but anyway, it's her body made in a little thing. Oh my God, Dave Hampton's calling me. You got to be kidding me. I'm in the middle of my podcast. What do you need? What do you need?
You know, I think we'll take our 5-second break while Lea is taking her
Well,
phone
I
call.
can't do it right now. I'll call you in 40 minutes. What script? Okay, listen,
And
I'm
we're
in
back.
the middle of my podcast. I'm going to call you back in 40 minutes, okay? Okay, bye. So I took that call because this guy's getting our products all over Japan.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I'm sorry. And then after I told him I was doing my podcast, he handed the phone to somebody.
Of course.
Hey, Leah, this is Jean. I need you to review this video script. I was like, I just told him I was doing a podcast. I got crazy friends.
But you did answer the phone.
I did answer. Yeah, because I know he's leaving for Japan tomorrow, and Jason's FedExing a box for them to take. And I thought maybe they need me to add one more thing.
Right.
Anyway, so after Ruthie died, and I just literally was depressed, I started just watching old movies. Did you guys ever see Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier?
Many
It was so good. I had seen it a couple of times before, but I just decided, oh my God, it's just so good. I watched it the other night. It was just so good. And then I watched Glenn Ross. Have you ever watched that one? Alex
I haven't seen that.
Baldwin, what's his name? Jack Lemmon, Kevin Spacey. Everybody in it's a star. But it was so good too, because if you've ever been in sales, you have to watch it, because it's just hilarious how the sales rooms work, you know. And then Pulp Fiction was on, so I watched that. And that John Travolta, in his heyday, he was just
good.
Unsurmountable. He's incredible. And then there's a new weekly series on called Transplant that's really good. I don't know what network
It's on NBC. It's a medical drama.
It's really good, though. I got hooked into that because I couldn't watch the news. I just could not watch the news. And I started oh my God, I read Mary Trump's book. I read Kushner Inc. Oh my God, if you read about the Kushners, it's no wonder they're married. They're all,
it's all part of the same
incestuous corruption everywhere.
Basket full of deplorables.
Oh my God. Anyway, so in the meanwhile, 47,000 acres
Have burned?
have burned. No, it's more than that.
It's more than that, yeah.
4.7 million acres have burned in California, Washington, and Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump told them to clean up those leaves. If you cleaned up those leaves, you wouldn't have that problem. Meanwhile, 97% of that land that's burning is federal land.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, go ahead.
They were asking if you were going to be watching The Masked Singer that starts tonight.
What is it?
The Masked Singer.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's one of the top shows on TV.
So
it's celebrities come out in costumes, and you don't know who they are, and each week they sing a song, and you try to guess through the voice who they are, and at the end of each show, they take off a mask based on who gets eliminated.
What is that, like The Voice? Is it NBC?
It's kind of like The Voice, yeah. It's on Fox, but it's
it
was a Japanese show to begin with, and then they brought it to the U.S., and it's been the #1 show for 3 years.
All I do is watch the news. Yeah. I'm back on the news again, but
I've been watching it, and I'm hooked on that. My favorite show, Jason and I both are.
Which one?
HBO Max. There's the show called Raised by Wolves. That's just incredible. It's
What's it called?
Ridley Scott.
Raised?
Yeah, Raised by Wolves.
Oh, Raised by Wolves.
And it's about these two androids that take human embryos, and they have to go to a planet and start over because the atheists and the religious people killed each other and destroyed Earth. But it's really done well.
I'm gonna like that.
Oh my gosh, it's really done well.
Meanwhile, John Lennon's killer came up again for parole, and of course it was denied. But he made a public apology to Yoko Ono. He's now 65 years old, and he just said that he just regrets it. Of course, he can regret it all day long. They're not gonna let him out of jail, and they shouldn't.
Unless he's Trump's new driver.
Yeah, right. Trump may pardon him if he'll vote for him.
Yeah, he would. You know he would.
So then, this was interesting. This man lost his surfboard in Hawaii in a swell of waves. And it was his first and only surfboard. And it was like his favorite thing in the whole world. He lost it. He tried everywhere, looked on eBay, went on all the stores, all the stores. He thought I was going to show up somewhere in Hawaii. Turns out it ended up in the Philippines, 5,200 miles away. And someone posted themselves with a picture of it saying, "Look at my new surfboard." And the guy's like, "Well, I'm glad it went to somebody that appreciates it." I thought that was very funny. It was in addition.com. And then Succession has won a drama.
It should have.
Top drama. I love that one. Did it come out this year already? I think I'm
missing
a season.
They were in production.
So they haven't done it.
Season 2's the last season.
Okay, so I'm not behind.
They're not finished in it because of the coronavirus production.
I'm going to watch that one. Now, all the schools that opened up, they're all closing down.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't have predicted that. What is it with these people that just won't wear a mask? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Wear a mask. Let's just say it's not 100% that it works. What if it's 1% that it works? It's worth it. Just wear a mask. I don't understand it.
It's unbelievable, like a 3-inch piece of cloth.
It's just ridiculous. So Trump the other day is behind the stage and someone's interviewing him and he goes, "Oh no, I'm not worried about getting the mask, but you're getting a little too close to me. Could you step back a little bit?" Yeah, he doesn't want him 6 feet from him. Yeah, with the mask, they had their mask on.
What about Pence's aide that was on the task force and then she quit and now she's speaking out about how he said he didn't want to shake hands with the disgusting people and all that stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, but so then
saying it was a gift.
He's behind the stage 6 feet from somebody and he doesn't want them near him because he goes, "Oh, I'm protected. I'm up on the stage and the people are way out there." What? So you're only worried about yourself. What about everybody else? And now he's going around saying, "Well, we're not even sure that it spreads that way." He's on tape saying that he knows that it spreads that way. And then he doesn't want to shake hands with these disgusting people, all of which are voting for him. And then this whistleblower comes out, the top person in Pence's task force, with all the gossip about what they're not doing, how Trump's making it all about him, how it's political, how they every time they try to make one step forward, they go back to because Trump changed the subject and he won't do anything and blah, blah, blah. And it's just a mess. Oh, my God. Let's see. Oh, so then the teachers on school, doing Zoom, they're doing the Zoom classes in the news. This teacher hears a gunshot in the background. So she calls 911 to go to the student's house where they heard the gunshot. Well, the mom was dead in the kitchen. The brother, who's 52 years old, just shot her, and he pled guilty on the spot.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine how traumatized that kid happened in front of all of his classmates, the teacher, the mother dead in the kitchen, the uncle standing there going, yeah, I did it, arrest me? I mean, what is going on in the world? This is why not everybody should have a gun.
No.
Then Al Gore was on CNN talking about the climate change. I mean, come on. If you should have seen his film 20 years ago and then the other one 10 years ago. He's been saying the same thing for over 20 years. If they would have not stopped counting the votes in Florida, and remember there are 15,000 votes in Palm Beach County that went to Pat Buchanan, which never should have gone to him. With the way the ballot was opened up, it was just not aligned properly. But I'll never forgive him for not contesting the election. He didn't contest it. He should have collected, but it wouldn't have mattered. It was going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court was going to give it to George Bush. And that's what I'm worried about now. That's why Trump's so anxious to get that justice on the court so that he can contest the election, send it to the Supreme Court, and his quid pro quo judge will say, well, of course, Mr. President, it was unfair. Those signatures didn't match. They came in late. I don't care if they got lost. No, we're not counting those votes. Yep, you're the president. That's what he's up to. And the only way that we can
we'll
stop
be Russia.
Yeah, the only way we can stop it is to just win by landslide. It has to be a huge landslide in every state. And I'm not sure I can see that happening. I just can't. Because he just lies about everything. Why would anybody want a president that lies to them about everything? He's been caught in over 30,000 lies. I don't understand why anyone would vote for a sociopathic liar. You never know when, I've always said a murderer, stay away from them. A thief, watch your purse. But a liar, you never know where you stand with a liar. You never know because they're just lying all the time. That's why that's one of the things I don't like the most probably are liars. If you're a thief, I don't agree with it, I don't get it, but I'm gonna watch my pocketbook. If you're a murderer, I'm gonna just stay away from you. But if you're a liar, I don't wanna hear anything you have to say.
What was it you said yesterday when someone was commenting about the show? You said something about telling the truth is easy?
Yeah, that's one of my quotes I gave. Yeah,
You said telling the truth
it's just
is
so
easy.
It's just so easy. And there may be repercussions and there may be consequences, but it's very easy. And if you have the consequences, you deal with them. And, if you have repercussions, you deal with them and you move on. But it's just so much easier just to tell the truth. I don't know. Anyway, we got to get out the vote. Everybody's got to get out and vote. In celebrity news, Julianne Rancic and Vivica Fox were absent from the Emmys. Why? They had COVID. Can you believe it? They had COVID. Then Queen Elizabeth stripped the royal Harvey Weinstein of all of his royal honors. Did you see that?
I did see that this week.
Yeah. Yep. He should have been stripped of them, but it's how embarrassing. You're the Queen of England. You bestow an honor on somebody, and then they turn out to be that. Oh, God. And by the way, what did I ever say that would have someone comment on my Twitter feed, well, you didn't support me too? What are you talking about?
I don't know what that was.
I don't even know. I mean, if someone made a false accusation, it turned out to be false, then I didn't support it. But if they were telling the truth, then I support them. What's hard about that? Oh my God, people just don't have enough to do. Lori Loughlin is going to surrender to jail at 2 p.m. on November 19th, right before Thanksgiving. What I don't understand, why are they putting more people in jail during the quarantine? I think they should just wait till after the quarantine and put them in jail.
Well, she got to pick where she goes.
Doesn't matter.
So she's probably going to some place where they're serving dinner.
She's going to Victoria. Let's see, 500,000 they paid in fines, and she's going to Victoria, California, which is close to her house. But it doesn't matter. Why do you want to fill up the jails with people right now, especially unless they're violent criminals, when the COVID's going around? It'd be better to just put them in after the COVID and not spread it further. I don't understand it. I don't know, whatever. She's going to go to a luxury little jail. Nike released a black jersey commemorating 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick for, his taking a knee.
Yeah,
I almost want to buy one just to sleep in it. I just love him. I love him. This guy gave up his whole career, and he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
All he did was take a knee. There's nothing disrespectful about taking a knee. You're just taking a knee. He didn't take a knee against the flag. He didn't take a knee against America. He didn't take a knee against anything. He took a knee to bring attention to racism. What is wrong with that? I mean, if I want to take a knee to bring attention to they're abusing dogs somewhere, no one's going to get mad about that. I don't understand people. I'm just tired of being so smart and everybody being so dumb. In Real Housewife news, well, James told me when I walked in, I had already heard from somebody else and I read her statement, but apparently Teddy's not coming back. They didn't renew her contract.
They're dropping like flies this week.
But the one thing I admire about her, what she said, her comment was, I can make up a whole big story, but the bottom line is they just didn't renew my contract. Yeah. So at least she told the truth.
Yes, she did like an Instagram video, and she actually said, I guess I was too boring, they said. So they told her that. Sutton started it, yeah. But I have to tell you, I have to have more of Sutton in my life next year.
I do like her.
I did not like her the first two episodes, but you know what? That's usually the best housewives. You usually hate them the first two, and then they go.
I liked her in the beginning. Yeah. Remember, you didn't like Dorette.
I didn't like Dorette.
You still don't like her?
I'm still on the fence about her.
Dorette. Yeah. I like her. I think she has common sense. I think she works hard. I think she's very talented with her swimsuits and her designs and running fashion shows and stuff. I think her husband's is just hilarious. He's a caricature.
They are.
She's got the Boy George connection, which is another out of nowhere thing. I find her fascinating, but she's always dressed impeccably.
Yeah, listen, I will say.
I'm sorry. She's the best dressed.
I like her better than I this year. I liked her more than I have any season they've had her on there.
Well, she stood up for Denise, she and Garcelle. And anytime you stand up for somebody when everyone's piling on, I've always take up for the underdog. I always have a certain amount of respect for that because I usually take up for the underdog. I don't like people piling on. But anyway, and then Brandy is milking this. Oh my God, she went on one of these Access things, one of these tabloid shows to talk about this whole thing with Denise, and she got paid for it. Mm-hmm. She is milking it, and she literally came out and said, well, she screwed me again because I'm not going to be on the show next year because she's not going to be on the show. So right there, she was basically admitting, I stirred up a lot of this trying to get back on the show. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know, whatever. I can't even imagine being in this one. And Brandy's also slamming Camille right now. She went after her. She said, go raise your kids or massage your husband's prostitute and spend your unearned alimony. You're a CUNT. I have to go help my son prep for a test. And I'm like, what grade's that kid in? What grade's he in? What test are we studying for?
Spelling test, apparently.
What were you going to say?
Adam Dumpson wants to know, do you feel that there needs to be more diversity in the housewife world, especially since you were one of the most diverse franchises at the time?
Not really. I don't believe in that. I believe people get a position in life or a job in life or a gig in life because
they deserve it.
They deserve it and they contribute. Yeah. So if you're black, good. If you're brown, good. If you're Indian, great. If you're Chinese, better. What does it matter? Mm-hmm. I don't agree with having someone in because they're diversified. I don't get that. I don't like it in any business. You're the best or you're not. It's even when Joe Biden said, I'm going to pick a woman. That
exactly.
annoyed me.
That annoyed me too.
You know what? You pick the best person for the job. If it happens to be a woman, fine. And if she happens to be black, fine. But you pick people based on their talent. Now, I do think all things equal, that as a society, we have a responsibility to bring up and help the less educated, the people with less money, and if they happen to be minorities, fine, and if they happen not to be minorities, fine. But the way you do that is by education and training and giving them talents and skill sets, and then they have to make it on their own. I just don't think that someone should get someone else's position because they're a gender, a color, they're gay, they're straight. I just think it should be based on merit. But that's just me. I'm going to get a bunch of shit for that.
No,
but
no, no.
whatever.
Listen, and you're correct. I agree with this, the same situation. And now, now the pendulum's swinging in the other direction. Like the new Salt Lake City franchise is a very diverse cast, and they said this week that they're adding their first black female cast member to New York, and so I mean, and Garcelle, the way they kind of introduced her and everything like that, and they even said during the reunion, did you feel the other girls felt like they couldn't come at her because they thought it was going to be
I don't want to be the token anything. I want to be there because I'm more interesting than everyone else. I have a better personality than everybody else. I bring more to the show than everybody else. No matter how old I am, no matter what gender I am, no matter what color I am, if I'm a lesbian, if I'm straight, if I'm 90 years old, if I'm 18, I just think it should be on merit. And that's not to say that any of those girls don't deserve it. Every one of them on there have as much to offer as the next, but it just should be based on merit. That's how I think. Now let's talk about the reunion at Beverly Hills. I thought the two best dressed were
Erica. I loved Erica.
No, Erica was number 2, and number 1 for me was Dorit.
Yep.
The dress, the hair, the makeup, the whole look.
Dorit, I don't know if they ever said who it was, but that looked like one of the old vintage Versace metal dresses on Dorit.
And you like that better.
But I didn't know. I did not think it looked good on her.
And
she got up and turned around once, and it looked horrible. They had it pulled every which way in the back.
I don't know. I thought she just looked really good.
But
and I loved the way Erica looked, but I loved Erica's eyelashes. Those eyelashes were fabulous. I wish I could find out where she got them and made them. They were so
I love
pretty
Erica.
on her. She's so beautiful.
She is a gorgeous
and she's
woman.
So classy. I find her classy and elegant and beautiful. And I find Dorit classy too.
Yeah, she is.
And I'll tell you, Kyle looked really good. But
she was very Joan Collins Dynasty.
Very Joan Collins Dynasty, very dated, but she looked pretty. Lisa Rinna always looks beautiful, but I don't love the wig that she had on that day. I just love her hair, her iconic hair.
Yeah.
I like that the best. I don't love her ponytails. I don't like the wigs. I love her when she's her own hair. So but the dress and the rest of it was fabulous. The makeup, those eyes of hers, I mean, they're just gorgeous. They're just like this big, Garcelle, she looked cute. I mean, it was fun and funky. I don't know. It was out there.
She has interesting style. I've been watching her all season, and her choices.
And then, Sutton, that dress was fine, but it wasn't a statement. It was not. No. It was just it was a great cocktail dress, but it was probably $20,000. But I didn't think she hit it out of the park. Did I miss anybody? I don't know. I don't want to miss anybody. But
I think
whatever.
that was it.
And Denise. I didn't think Denise also didn't think she really hit it out of the park.
I felt like the entire time she was sitting there, it looked like her head was photoshopped like 2 inches over on her neck. Like the whole time she sat with this weird position, and every time they brought in, I was like, it looks like a caricature.
But the dress looked like she was going to a nightclub.
Yeah.
I didn't love the dress.
And Teddy's pink hair wasn't good.
Way, oh my God, I thought she
looked horrible. They didn't renew her contract because of the way she looked on the reunion.
Remember when Sutton said, "Well, if you don't want to like me because
my comments on your dress,
on your horrible, deplorable clothes," I don't know how she said it.
But
I mean, she was just being sincere. She was like, "Listen, if you don't like me because I think that you can't dress properly, I don't know what to say." But the way she worded it was very cute.
I love Sutton. She is one of those old Southern women that you just like. I mean, she's a dying breed. She totally is.
So Nene is out, Denise is out, Dorinda is out, and now Teddy is out. So they're having a major shakeup.
Yep.
Well, let's see. Well, let's talk about.
And there might be a few more out because they haven't confirmed what's going on in New York yet. So.
Well, that Lea got her contract.
She did get hers back. Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
When I found out what they were paying her, I was like, she deserves a lot more.
She should have. She was the only.
I'm glad
she
she's
brought
not
it this season.
Drink for a while though, because I want her to look good. I want all the girls to look their best and be their best. I don't think that drinking thing serves any of them. Luann falling in the bushes. Dorinda getting mad and angry, Sonia falling on the floor, Lea running around throwing the torches. Those girls drink in New York.
And
I can't deal with that. It bothers me.
You don't watch Potomac either, do
No,
you? So,
but I've
well,
heard it's
I
really
know
great.
that they just ended it. This one was where the whole big fight that's been brewing all season long, that there was the assault charges and all that stuff that were filed against the two girls and all that stuff. So the fight just started as it ended this last week. So
Oh,
when
so
it
it's a
picks up
cliffhanger.
Sunday, it's going to be great. But
cliffhanger.
I have to tell you something. You know, they brought Potomac and Dallas on at the same time, around the same time, and I kind of written both of them off. They haven't been very good, but Potomac has really brought it this season.
Did they renew Dallas?
Dallas is in
So go-
season
you know,
5.
That's the only thing that I just don't get. I'm not disagreeing that they shouldn't have renewed Miami.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that at all, because I felt there were a lot of things that could have been better on that show, including people just telling the truth. Like one of the things the other day when they were saying on, one of them said, Dorinda said, well, I realize now that you don't have to put your real face out there and you can lie and you can hide things from the show. That's all Miami was.
Mm-hmm.
They were all lying and covering for each other.
And they're still trying to blame you for the way the storyline went.
I didn't have a storyline. I was just
No, but I'm just
running around
saying,
being myself.
Last week, one of the girls was on a podcast mouthing off about
I
that.
saw something. Oh, it was Christy
Christy,
saying
yeah.
that. What does she know? Oh, please. Okay, so she said it. Okay, so anyway, I like her. I just,
Yeah, I was a little shocked.
I do. I love her. I think she's a great mother. I think she's a fun girl. She's a beach girl. But I mean, as in terms of, intellectual analysis, I wouldn't put her at the top of my list. But anyway, that was part of what was wrong with the show. The clique, they all cover for each other and hide each other's secrets, and no one's really telling the truth. I think Lisa Rinna took it pretty far with telling the truth with Denise. And then,
Yeah,
but I
she
think
wasn't.
Dorinda made a point. If you're on the show, you can't cover for somebody, so they'll cover for you, because then there's no show. But anyway, so I didn't realize that that you're supposed to, when you make your agreement with Bravo, that you agree to do all that. I didn't pay much attention to it because I wouldn't do anything otherwise anyway. I don't have the time to sit around and remember what I said or lied about. I'm just kind of like, I said it, okay, bye. I said it, I should have said it, I should have said more.
They want to know what your favorite Bravo show is besides The Housewives, and the lady that just sent the comment.
Oh, that's an easy one. $1 Million Listing Los Angeles.
Yeah. Hers was at Below Deck. She says, I like Below Deck. Med has turned into my favorite show.
Well, I probably
Yeah.
would like that because it's glamorous and that and that and that. But that's a show that I could watch on mute.
Yeah.
And it's like $1 Million Listing. I can watch it on mute and still love it. I just love the houses. I love to see what they sell for. I love to see what people's tastes are.
Yeah, exactly.
I like them, and I love all the characters on $1 Million Listing in LA. I liked the New York one too, but I love the LA one because I feel like I live there half the time. It's like my neighborhood. So I like, oh my God, that's my neighborhood. That's my view. Oh my, I love that one, and I love the characters on there. I think they're all so just squishy, adorable. Anyway. Lea Black Beauty, let's talk about you guys going to leablack.com and ordering, because we're quarantined here and we can't do anything to sell except sell online. So if you need anything for your skin, today's the day. The Fall Skincare Event, 40% off of all CBD skincare, the Sudden Youth Complete Lift Facial, and the Sudden Youth Anti-Aging CBD Oil with code FALL2020, FALL 2020. People underestimate that face mask too. It lifts, tones, firms. Literally, you will look younger and your skin will get tighter and your pores will get smaller and you will slough off the dead cells and you will lift, tone, firm, and tighten and increase circulation in your face if you just put that on 10 minutes every 2 or 3 days. I used to sell nothing but that. That was like the one thing that we sold, millions and millions and millions of dollars of. That was the number one thing that we sold when you had to mix it. Then when we spent 5 years making it where you don't have to mix and it's in a tube and you can just put it on, it's so much easier now. I still have customers I had from the 80s on that product. And they'll tell you, I went to a class reunion and everyone thought I had a facelift. That's the one thing we don't promote it enough. You know what? I take it for granted. I take it for granted. Here's a testimonial from
Oh, wait,
Sally.
and there's more to that promotion.
Oh.
Don't forget the gift with purchase.
Oh, for a limited time, receive a complimentary moisturizing exfoliant with every purchase while supply lasts. We're going to give away an exfoliant now. Jesus, I'm going to go broke. Between my political donations and discounts on the skincare, I'm going to be having to sell my jewelry soon.
I just want to let everyone know, too, that you add the item to your cart and then you use the FREESCRUB code. And you combine those two offers, actually, right now for a limited time.
Yes, you can combine your fall 2020 for your 40% off, and then you can get your free gift by adding the code FREESCRUB at the checkout, and the price...
Yeah, but you have to add the product to the cart, too. A lot of people didn't realize that, so we're just kidding.
One customer per order. Oh, come on, you can cheat. Okay, so customer testimonial from Sally from Baltimore, Maryland. Sally, should I say the last name? Anyway, customer testimonial. I haven't read this one yet. Your skincare products are incredible. By the way, I read every single testimonial that we get, and every single comment I read, and I reply to most of them. Your skincare products are incredible. I ordered the premium skincare collection last month and have seen the most dramatic change in my skin tone and love the way they all make my skin feel after using them. The CBD really works. I'm in my 50s, and I have used every product on the market. I have never seen the results as I have with your products, and they are also affordable. They're affordable because we're selling them basically at wholesale prices because I just want customers to get them. Thank you for helping me attain a great skin. Well, thank you, Sally. Thank you. Oh, here's my Leah's Life Lessons for the week. There are a lot of educated fools. Oh, I think I said that earlier in a different way.
They loved that one this week.
It's the truth. How can these people, I've realized,
and most of them are in America.
Americans are not science driven. They're not fact driven. They love the conspiracy theories. They love, that Trump tells people what they want to hear and it makes them happy, and they're like, oh yeah, I believe that, because they're living never land. You need to come down to earth, people. The planet's getting hotter. There are fires, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, tornadoes. It's falling apart. We have to bring the temperature down. There are ways to do that create tons of jobs. So why are we not doing that? We have the most corrupt administration we've ever had. How many people have been indicted? How many have pled guilty? How many are in jail? It's a very corrupt administration. I've been reading the books. I read so many of these books, and these are 4-star generals. These are highly educated, sophisticated people that have been in government forever. They're not writing these books and lying about it. These books are vetted by the publishers and the editors, that they fact check them. It's a mess in Washington. It's a shit show. There are food lines. People are dying in droves of COVID. Trump's lying all day, every day. And now he's trying to steal the election in plain sight, shutting down the post office, sabotaging the votes, telling people the votes aren't going to count, getting Barr to go along with this whole plan. And now he's going to put someone in the Supreme Court that's a quid pro quo, like, well, a lot of these votes are rigged, don't you? Wink, wink. Oh, of course, Mr. President, I do. Yep, I point you to the Supreme Court. It's corrupt. And if he gets back in office again, the democracy as we know it is over. And the country is going to go bankrupt, too. It's going to go bankrupt.
I think this is all part of Putin's plan.
It
and
is. Putin's loving it.
when Russia wins, when Trump wins, I'm going to tell you, I've been telling people this the last couple of weeks, and they all think I'm nuts, but I think you're going to see this country change in a way that we have never seen, and we are going to see Russia try to interfere even further with our society. I think we're in for a real.
Everything Russia wants them to do.
Well, there's something going on, I think, behind the scenes. I think it's been going on all along. I think it was preset before. And I think we mentioned this last week. Every time he meets with him, the stenographers and the people that are there, the translators, they have to turn over all their notes and they have to throw it out, or they're not allowed. He doesn't let them do it.
He has Russian translators now.
And
he has no witnesses to the calls either. Only Russian translators.
Let me tell you, there's more going on than we're seeing right now.
All the news we're getting about what's going on is out of Russian TV. And by the way, they're laughing at Trump. They're saying what a useful idiot he turned out to be. We really got our money's worth with him. They started getting stuff on him way back when he was the flamboyant
when he needed money.
and went and started with the beauty pageants and was trying to get Trump Tower over there. And when he went broke, and they started funding his businesses, and that's why he's so adamant about not letting those taxes out. If he was really a billionaire and had made all that money legitimately, he would be putting it in the front page of every newspaper. Look what I did. Look what I accomplished. Look how much I paid in taxes. Look at the money I gave in charity. He's hiding all of that. So there's no doubt. One, I think Putin has something on him. But two, I think Trump wants to be like Putin. So it's like, you know what? You don't put this out and I'll get to be like you and I get to get all this power and we're both happy. It's like a symbiotic relationship. Yeah. We need 4 Senate seats. I'm wanting you guys to support Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Texas, Kentucky, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Maine. Any 4 of those, we have to. If we had 2 more senators that had a spine and any integrity at all, they would shut down this vote on the Supreme Court right now. But every one of them, they trotted out 18 of them. Oh, absolutely, we can't vote on what was Garland right now. Oh no, we're in an election year. This was February. We can't have Obama appoint somebody. We're in an election year. No, I think we have to set the precedent, and you can hold this against me later. I'm telling you right now, if the same thing happens under the next administration in 4 years, we will not have a vote for the Supreme Court. And now Trump's like, well, the election's going to be rigged, and we're going to need someone to decide that in the Supreme Court. So we got to have 9. We can't have 8. Well, we had 8 last time there was an election, doofus, because your Mitch McConnell and all those right-wing nuts wouldn't allow an appointment. They wouldn't allow an appointment.
And remember what I've been saying for 4 years, because I'm from Kentucky. Mitch McConnell's more dangerous than Trump. And
he is.
And he has been. And this is exactly why. And he's all falling into place right now.
Because he's smarter than Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump is his useful idiot.
Yeah.
And Barr, McConnell, and Trump are going to be the demise of democracy if Trump's elected. It's going to be over. Because look at all the stuff they've gotten with now. They get away with it because everybody that follows him that I know of or that supports him, they get all of their news from Fox News. That's it. They don't get their news from the BBC, the CNN, the NBC, the ABC, the CBS, the NPR, the C-SPAN. They get it all from Fox. And Fox edits it down and makes him look smart and makes it look like it's all true, and they don't put anything out there. I can't. You remember the debate September 29th with Chris Wallace is coming up, so you want to watch that. And then there's going to be 3 more after that. Meanwhile, the U.S. Post Office was set to send out 6 masks per household to 13 billion, 6 masks per household back in February, March, telling people the importance of wearing a mask. And Trump shut that down. The White House shut it down. And you know what they did with the masks? They donated them somewhere because they didn't want the people to take it seriously. Because of that, every other industrialized country in the world is back to work and back to school, and we're the highest infection rate we've ever been, with over 200,000 Americans are dead. I can't believe it. And now all of a sudden, remember how Trump went down to Puerto Rico and tossed the paper towels to everybody, and they made fun of them? And I was working on remember we sent all those tents to Puerto Rico so people would have a place to live, Jason. Remember we collected and sent all those tents for months and months to get people a place to live? Meanwhile, I know from working with charitable organizations, they had a lot of cruise ships that were in the area, commercial ships, that were willing to go dock there and drop off everything they had for the Puerto Rican people. And Trump...
Now, glutathione is a big word, but it's the body's own master antioxidant. So it's a scavenger for free radicals, for bacteria, and what's relevant now, viruses. This is new to the marketplace. There's no other product on the market that has the ingredient NACET.
And basically NACET increases the production of that glutathione that is in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system and keep it strong. Elevates sense of well-being, supports muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, powerful liver support. Energy. Helps blood sugar regulation. Superior bioavailability of key ingredients.
One of your best defenses against COVID is a strong immune system. Taking GSH Plus as a daily supplement does all that. And now we have the product out on the marketplace.